He goes, I like her.
I think I'm good for 2 months.
That's awesome.
Right? I think that's-
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna do the 5-day thing. I was talking to Aisha yesterday.
Oh, are you recording?
Yes, it's recording. It's live.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris. I am doing stretching with strength. And what you'll need for today's class is a yoga block or a throw pillow if you have one, and something to prop your head up on. I like this little weighted ball. It's kind of filled with sand. It's a little bit squishy, but you can use 2 yoga blocks to prop your head up on, a pillow, whatever you got. So grab one of those. And let's see who's here with us. Nobody yet. You want me to go on into the class?
Yep.
All righty.
I'm sending out texts now.
Let's get moving. We're going to start off just in a seated position, opening up our hips in a crisscross pattern of our legs. So you get seated in your comfortable pattern here, and then we're going to get a little uncomfortable because I want you to cross your legs the other way. Let's keep the body guessing. It's always good to keep the body guessing, not know what you're going to do next, unless you're abruptly going to jump into some physical exercise, and then you want to warm it up and give it a little idea of what you're doing. Let's just circle around, just circling from right here at the hip joint. And you can just let your back and your neck just follow along wherever they want to go. We're just getting the juices flowing into our joints. And those juices are called synovial fluid. We have fluid in all our joints. Now let's reverse that circle, but before we reverse our circle, let's switch our legs. So now we're going back the other way. Yes. Just roll those hips around. Feel those hip bones, seat bones, sit bone, whatever they are, right under you. Just roll all the way over them. Let your head just loosely follow along. And now we're going to get into an upright position. So we're going to keep our spine nice and straight and upright. These are great moves to do in the morning. Your body has been sleeping all day, all night, and we want to get all the fluid flowing through our body. So your spine is nice and tall right now. And I want you just to shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze them up there as high as you can. Get them up there like earrings. And then push those shoulders down. So really push them down, push them down. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder and scapula work today too. Squeeze up to the ears and push down. Now, if you're just joining us, grab a yoga block or a pillow and grab something to prop your head up on. Lift up, squeeze up, squeeze up, squeeze up, and push down, push down, push down. Let's do that one. Really push them up there really hard, nice and tight. And then you push down as hard as you can. Push down, make those muscles move the shoulder blade, move the clavicle, move the shoulders, and relax it. Just do some rolls, relaxing rolls. And then roll forward. You might hear a little cracking and popping. It's all good. Don't worry about it. All right. So let's go to hands and knees. And like I said, if this is early morning for you, your spine has been just sitting and letting all the fluid go to one side or the other. We're going to get that fluid going all the way through those vertebrae and those discs and all that muscle in our back. So what I want you to do is get on hands and knees, and I want you to take your hands and I want you to place them directly under your shoulders. Your knees are directly under your hips, and you can flatten your feet out for this one. We're going to do a cat-cow, but we're going to do it a little bit different, so watch carefully. I want you to bring your chin to your chest, and as you do, I want you to send your navel up to the ceiling. So you're rounding your low back. You're rounding your neck. It's very important to keep your neck and your low back going the same direction. So stay in that roundness and push back with your hands so your hips go back to your heels, but you're staying round, round, round. all the way back as far as you can go. Once you're there, drop your elbows to the floor, lift your chin, drop your belly, keep your chest low, slide it up through your hands and come back up to all fours. Let's do that again. So make sure your hands are placed evenly. They're right under your shoulders. Your chin comes to your chest. So you're rounding your neck as well as rounding your low back. You're pushing your spine up like an arch to the ceiling. Now keep that arch. Push back, push back, push back. Keep it strong, keep it strong. Now drop your elbows. Lift your chin, let your belly drop, and slide your chest as close as you can to the floor up through your hands. Let's do that one more time. This is so good to get that spinal fluid moving. You're rounding, 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 pushing back, dropping the elbows, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, sliding your chest up through your hands. Okay, we're going to take it back to the hips now. So what I want you to do is take your right foot and bring it along outside your right hand. Might take a couple steps. You might have to scooch it up there, but take it up here so your right foot is right next to your right hand. Now, we want to keep that low back going the same direction as our neck. So I want you to keep it really straight and flat. I want you just to look down at the floor, keep your neck nice and flat, your low back nice and flat, and then I want you to rock forward and rock back. Rock forward. This is opening up that hip, getting those hips moving. You're working on the ankle too. Keep that foot flat on the floor. You're working the inside of that right leg. You're working all through that hip joint. And we're working the other leg as well. Always working both legs, just in a different direction. So just rock it back and forth. A couple more times. Doesn't that feel good? Keeping your head in line with your spine. Let's take it back. All right. So we're going to take it over to the other side. So you're going to take your left foot and bring it alongside your left hand. Once you're there, you're going to keep your neck nice and straight. Your whole back is pretty flat, all right? You're just looking straight down at the mat. And then you're rocking forward over those hands. And then you're sending it back as far as you're comfortable. Rocking forward and back. It can be a very tiny move when you start it. And as we rock back and forth, that move might get bigger and bigger. And as you come up over your hands, you're increasing your strength in your shoulders and you're rocking back, increasing the strength in your hips. Let's do this a couple more times. Feel that all throughout that left leg. So we're stretching with strength. So what I mean by that is as we move, we are stretching the opposing muscles to the ones that are moving us. So we're actively stretching. We're not just yanking on tightness. We're moving into the tightness and we're asking our body to let go. All right. Come back to hands and knees and let's go to the floor on our back. So this is where the yoga block and the prop for your head are going to come in handy. If you don't have it, we can definitely do it without. I'm just going to show you the optimal way to do this. So I want you to put the yoga block between your knees. We're going to use it to keep our hips lined up. You don't have to put a death grip on it, just enough to hold it in place. And then we're going to take this and we're going to put it behind our head. So just go ahead and hold your abdominals in tight. Don't miss an opportunity to use your abdominals as you go down. And I'm going to place this right behind my head so I have a little tilt. So ultimately what we're going to be doing is we're going to be tilting our chin to our chest. This gives you a little bit of a help. And we're going to be looking at our knees, at the top of our knees. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take both our palms. We're going to place them on the floor. So wherever you're comfortable with your arms, to get those palms flat on the floor, go there. Now that's going to be our neural input. What I want you to do now is I want you to look at the top of your knees. So you're dropping your chin towards your chest. And from here, I want you to think of your belly button going down into the floor. So pull your belly button in tight. You should feel a little tilt right here at your pubic bone. It's not a lift off the floor. It's a tilt, bringing your pubic bone towards your nose. I want you to feel all that right now and relax it. So it's all about getting in the right position. Let's do that again. So we're bringing our chin to our chest. So our gaze is looking at the top of our knees. Our palms are on the floor. Our chin, our navel is coming into our spine, and we're pushing our spine into the floor. Just rounding our spine gently into the floor. Now we're going to hold this one for 6 seconds. And that would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just release everything. Just gently relax. You want to relax out of this for at least 6 seconds as well. So let's place our palms on the floor, our chin to our chest, our gaze at the top of our knees. I want you to pull your navel into your spine, let that pubic bone tilt up towards your nose, and you're flattening that low back into the floor while you're strengthening your abdominals. So your abdominals are tightening right here. They're stretching out your lower back. This is so important. And then go ahead and release. So if any of you ladies have had a C-section, or anybody's had any abdominal surgery, this will kick in those lower abdominals. If you don't have your lower abdominals working, you're going to have low back pain. I don't care how many crunches you do. This did it for me. So go ahead, let's do it again, because I want you to be very aware of all the steps. So we're placing our palms on the floor. We're not pushing them through the floor. We just want gentle connection to the floor. We're bringing our chin to our chest and looking at the top of our knees. Then we're pulling our navel into our spine and getting that gentle tilt of the pubic bone towards our nose and flattening that spine into the floor. It's elongating, it's opening up, it's getting in its happy place. And you hold that for 6 seconds. And then we release it. So let's add on to that. Okay, giving it our 6-second rest. So you hold that move for 6 seconds, you release it for 6 seconds. You could do this every morning to get that spine nice and strong, get those abs engaged. It's neurologically engaging your abdominals. So important. So let's add on. So let's go back into our position. We're dropping our chin to our chest. We're looking at the top of our knees. We're pulling our navel into our spine, tilting our pubic bone. Now we're going to let the hands lift up off the floor. So your arms are alongside you. Gently lift your shoulder blades up off the floor. Now we're going to glide our hands towards our heels. So we're going to take the bottom of our rib cage and push it towards the top of our hip bones. So just glide it. It's not lifting up to the ceiling. We're crunching right here. We're closing the gap between our ribs and the top of our hips. So just glide, but you've got that wonderful position. You've got yourself set so that low back is in its happy place, and just take it down. That is great. Okay, let's do that one more time. So I'm just going to reiterate this whole position. It's so important. Pushing your hands into the floor, tilting your chin to your chest, pulling your navel into your spine, tilting your pubic bone towards your nose, lifting the arms and the shoulder blades off the floor just a tiny bit. And then we're going to glide our rib cage. So think of your rib cage. Don't think of anything else. Think of your rib cage coming to the top of your hip bones. You're shortening right here. You're not lifting up. You're already up. You're gliding. Keep gliding and lower it down. Great job. Great job. So let's work deep into those abdominal muscles. You can take this away. You can keep your head prop if you want, because if your low back is rounding into the ground like we're gonna have it, it's good to have your neck rounded too. And this is not a very exaggerated tilt, but it just is, it's good for the spine to do this. So let's take our right leg up in the air. Just take it where you can comfortably go. Now, I want you to turn that right leg out from the hip joint, from here, not from your foot. So do that again. Right leg up in the air, turning open this hip joint. We're working our iliopsoas muscle, and it's deep in the front of our spine to the very tip top of our leg there. So what we're going to do is some circles on the ceiling. So let's go ahead and circle that leg. So like you've got a pencil between your toes and you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. But more importantly than the moving leg, everything else is still on the floor. So keep everything as still as possible. And then you can see how big you can make your circle without wiggling everything around. That's why we keep this knee bent. If it starts wiggling around, that's our guide that we've lost control of the psoas muscle. We've lost control of the core. We don't want that. So go ahead and bring it down. Let's do the other leg. So you can keep your hands down by your side. What I want you to do is extend this leg up. Now, this leg might not go as high as the other. We're not quite perfectly symmetrical, but that should be our goal. Go ahead and turn your leg out from the hip. Don't worry about, just let the foot follow along. And we're going to circle. So think of this deep abdominal muscle that goes from your spine to the top of your leg, shortening as you bring that circle back to your body. Circle. Keep everything on the floor still. Keep it still. And then bring it down. Good job. Good job. So I hope you remember which direction you circled. Let's take the leg up. Turn the leg out. And if you don't remember what you would naturally do, go ahead and just reverse that, because I'm sure you went the way your body would naturally go. So let's circle. Once again, everything on the floor is still. We've got control of everything here, and we're using those deep abdominal muscles to support our spine and eliminate back pain. So keep that circle going. And you might go farther when you're going in this different direction. And take that leg down. Give it a chance to settle and bring the other leg up. Turn it out from the hip. I don't care where the foot's going. And then you're going to circle. Circle. Keep it in control. So the size of your circle is where you can control the rest of your body staying still. I don't want you to have a death grip with your hands on the floor. I want it to come from the inside of your core. I want it to come from deep inside you. Nice job. All right. So let's do one more move for this lower abdominal area, where I want you to take your right knee and I want you just to bring it as close to your chest as you can without grabbing it. So see where it goes. Now take your right hand and put it in front of your right knee. And I want you to just gently push your knee into your hand. So push your knee into your hand into your knee. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath when we do these isometric. What's naturally going to happen is you're going to get that pubic tilt again. So push, push, push. So this is what we experienced when we were walking, okay? We've got one knee bent. And if you want to, you can take it with the other leg straight, if that feels good to you. And this is mimicking what you do when you walk in a very exaggerated way. So let's start with the right knee bent. Bring the left knee towards your chest. Just see where it goes. Does it go as far as the other one? Maybe not. But just go where it can go. We're not pulling it to us. We're pushing it to us. Now, I want you to bring your hand in front of your knee And you're going to push your knee into your chest. And if you would like, you can extend that other leg long. It's not necessary, but you can do it. And then release. Let's switch it to the other side. So see what feels best to you. If the leg straight does not feel that great, or you feel like you can get more momentum with the leg bent, do it. I'm going to keep the leg bent right now. So go ahead and bring your knee to your chest. This time it should come a little closer. So instead of those normal stretches where you just try to do this to open up that low back, what we're doing is we're increasing the strength in our hip flexors, the muscles that move us in that direction. So the low back says, oh, but they've got you here. You can open up. So look at this. You can get a little closer, hopefully. Put your hand in front of your knee and push your knee to your hand. Push it, push it. Get real strong in this hip flexor. Get real strong. Pull that navel into the spine. Use every opportunity you can to keep that navel pulled into your spine. And then release it. Nice job. And you might want to just stretch it out long after you do that for a sec while we're resting. Okay, bring it back to a bend. Let's see where the left knee wants to go. Is it coming closer to your chest this time? I hope so. Now, bring your hand in front of your knee and you're pushing your knee in. Push, push, push. Push it, nice and strong. We're developing strength here. And then relax and go ahead and extend that long. Nice job, nice job. So now we're going to work a little bit of a shoulder and upper thoracic. The thoracic part of your spine is the part in between your shoulder blades. And we're going to open that up a little. So what I want you to do for starters, you can move the pillow away from your head. I just want you to take your hands behind your head and just go where you can go on this. We're going to lower our head to the floor. Now bring your elbows as close together as you can in the front. And then I want you to, your low back will get what we call a neutral spine. You're going to have a little tilt here. It's going to come off the floor. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I want it nice and relaxed. We're not working the low back right now. So you're bringing your elbows together, kind of crushing your skull. And then you're going to open your elbows out. Try to keep them even if you can. And push your elbows out back to the floor. See if you're even. See if both of them can go to the floor. I'm not quite even. And let's bring our elbows back together. So what I want you to think of as your moving lever is your shoulder blades, not your elbows. So I want you to think of your shoulder blades pressing back to the floor. Now that you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, that is what's moving you, those muscles in your back. So hold this open. Think of those muscles in between the shoulder blades squeezing together, and then release and bring your elbows back together. So put your mind in those muscles that are going the back of your shoulder blades. They're going towards your spine. They're squeezing together. Almost think of having a pencil along your spine and you're trying to hold them together with your shoulder blades. Open it up, open it up. This is where the magic happens right here. Your chest pops up towards the ceiling. And let's squeeze it back together. We're going to open up one more time, and then we're going to build on this. So open it up, squeezing the shoulder blades back together, getting them moving, pressing the elbows towards the floor. And once you're there, just stay there, relax, take your hands out from behind the heads, and bring your elbows out to, you're keeping your elbows bent at 90 degrees. But your shoulder blades are still on the floor. Your low back can be arched slightly off the floor. But from here, I want you to straighten your arms over your head, trying to keep your shoulders on the floor, keeping your elbows as close to the floor as you can. They'll come up a little. Now I want you to bend the elbows back to 90 degrees, and then keep going with those elbows and bring them into your side if you can, keeping them on the floor. So bring it back up, keeping your forearms as open and close to the floor as you can. You're sliding your arms up and around, keeping them on the floor if you can. And then the goal is just to try to keep them close to the floor. I've got one that's working better than the other, and you're squeezing your elbows back into your sides. So these are working all those muscles on the back side of our shoulders. You're stretching it long now. You're going to bend your elbows. You're going to bring your elbows into your side and squeeze. Let's do that one more time. Bring it up, up, up. And just go where you can comfortably go. Don't force these moves. If you are doing it correctly, you will increase the move over time as the muscles that are making you move into these moves are strengthening. That allows the tight ones that don't let you go there relax. So think about this. Instead of yanking on your tightness, I want you to strengthen the muscles that are supposed to be taking you into the move. The tight ones are your protection. And once they get the idea the other ones are strong enough, then they will let go. So embrace that, okay? So while we're down here on our backs, let's go ahead and grab that yoga block again. We're going to do a few bridges for the back side of our glutes. If you don't have a yoga block, just try to keep your knees in a straight fashion right from your hips. Go ahead and put your arms down on the floor again. And I want you to squeeze your glutes right here at the bottom of the move. We're going to start with a squeeze. You're squeezing your butt cheeks together. Once they're together, I want you to lift them up wherever you can go. But the harder you squeeze, the higher they're going to go. So keep that squeeze, keep that squeeze. And then keep the squeeze as we lower down because we want to do it with control. We don't want to plop down on the floor. No plopping. All right, now you can plop, release it. So squeeze it again. Send it up to the ceiling. Send it up, send it up, send it up. Push, push, push the hips up in the air. Push up. Hold that squeeze. See if you can get a little higher. Higher. Nice and strong. We're very strong here. Now keep the squeeze. You're not letting go yet. We're still working it. And lower it down and release. Let's do that one more time. You guys are doing great. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. So as we're squeezing the back side, back here, guess what's opening up? Those hip flexors that we were using earlier. So now they're like, yay, we've got help from back here. We can let go and we can get a little stretch. And release and lower it. Don't release. Lower down and now release. All right, let's get up to a seated position. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat wherever you want to be. We're going to reawaken our rotator cuff muscles. We're going to get them in sync. And so what I want you to do is get our golfer's grip. So here's our golfer's grip. A lot of you might know this. Your palms are wide open. You're going to take your fingertips and you're going to tuck them under from the edge here. We're not making a fist. We're opening our palm. We're tucking our knuckles in and we're pushing our thumbs out as far as we can. All right. Now send your arms away from your body. Palms are facing down. That means your thumbs are facing forward. And we're going to circle the direction that our thumbs are facing. So you're always circling the direction your thumbs are facing. And you're reaching the arms as far apart from each other, the hands as far apart from each other as you can, getting a nice big wingspan here. Now this is taking this movement all the way up to this shoulder capsule. You're not using your forearms. You're using the shoulder. And we've got so many muscles in our shoulders, and 4 of them are called the rotator cuff muscles. So this gets them syncing together so they're all working properly. So you reach and you circle, you reach and you circle. And let's drop it down. just rest your hands on your knees. Go ahead and do a few more circles like we did in the beginning, opening up the hips. And we're going to reverse that arm circle. So once again, you're going to get your golfer's grip. Palms are open, knuckles are tucked in, thumbs are pointing out. So you got a big space right here. This time you're going to turn your palms so they face the ceiling. And guess what? Your thumbs are facing behind you. So that's the direction you're going to circle. So follow the thumbs and circle, circle. Yeah, feel it way up in that shoulder. Oh, it feels so good. Reach and circle, reach and circle. When you get really good at these, you can do them standing or sitting. You can do it while you're at your desk. Do 30 or 40 each way. These are so good to keep all those shoulder muscles active. All right, drop it down. One more thing to open up those hip flexors. Let's take both feet out in front of us. Drop them over to the side. So you've got one foot in front of you, one foot bent behind you. You're going to push up to the knees and you're going to reach that top arm up to the ceiling as you squeeze that glute on the back side so you can open up this hip flexor on the front, right? Get it nice and open. You can circle your arm around, get those shoulders moving. And reverse that circle as you're squeezing the backside to open up the front hip flexor. It's all active, okay? Let's go ahead and switch sides. Then we'll be done. So go ahead and come up on your knees. Reach, reach, reach up. And then give me a circle as you're squeezing your backside, pushing your hip open. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Go ahead and reverse that circle. Reverse it. And have a seat. Great job, everyone. Thanks for joining me in Stretching with Strength. I hope you feel like you just had a massage and you're ready to roll through your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Hey, Miss Hattie.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. I hope you all feel good. See you guys later.
All
Bye,
right.
guys. I'll call you Miss Hattie.
Okay.